Hi everyone, Matthew Donovan here. First of two videos today. I have the May update and then the June update. It's been busy. I've been really busy with this new semester and everything that's been going on with that, trying to get everything sorted out in terms of the academics and everything else I've been involved with. I guess the first thing on the list is languages, so let's start with that. I spoke briefly in the April video about how I'll be going to Hungary in the fall, and as a result, I wanted to start focusing on Hungarian. So during the month of May, I had four lessons actually, with three different people. So I tried out three different Hungarian tutors on Italki, and then I found one that I liked and had a second lesson in Hungarian. And just a little bit of practice. It's a tough language. It's not fully supported by Link, which is the platform that I normally use to read content and listen to audio and that type of thing. So it's been a little bit difficult finding content, but I did find the one tutor that I was able to have conversations with. And what I typically find, and this has been the same for all languages, is often I'll have people that I want to speak with, and they really just focus on the grammar and all about grammar, grammar, grammar. And especially in the early stages, that's not what I want. That's not how I learn best. So it's a matter of just trying different tutors, finding one that works, and sticking with them. So I did that. I had three different Hungarian lessons, found one person I liked, booked a second lesson, and had that. But what happened about midway through the month of May is we decided, three out of the four of us who are traveling to Hungary for this competition, we decided that we were going to fly into Rome for a few days ahead of time, just do some sightseeing and exploring in Italy. But as a result, now I'm a little bit conflicted, wanting to still focus on Hungarian so I can get a little bit of Hungarian in prior to the competition. But I do also want to focus on Italian. Half my family's Italian, my mom's entire side of the family is Italian. And this is a good reason, a good motivating factor for learning Italian. So with that, I had a little bit of this conflict here of still wanting to focus on Hungarian, and definitely I was at the start of May, but shifting a little bit towards Italian. And all of this as well, I should say, is being balanced by or limited by everything else that I'm doing. I've got a lot of courses going on academically, other involvements, so it's been a very, very busy time. So I focused a little bit on Hungarian at the start of May. I'm starting to shift a little bit to Italian, probably do a 60-40 or a 70-30 split from Italian and Hungarian up until September. But all that to say is that's been on the back burner with everything else. But I did have three lessons in Hungarian, and something else I have written down is I did one lesson in German as well during the month of May. I found someone in Tanzania, I believe. I'm not quite sure where they were, but a native German speaker just living in Africa for a brief period of time. So I had a lesson with her. That was prior to my birthday, so near the beginning of May, and all of that. The reason I wanted to have that lesson in German, and I was hoping to do a couple more, but just couldn't find the time, was I wanted to put together a video, and I did put together a video on my birthday, the 11th of May, just with all the languages I could speak to the capacity in which I can speak them. Now, it didn't come out as well as I would have liked. There's a few languages where I haven't spoken in a little bit of time, Czech especially, and I just wasn't where I was hoping to be or where I thought I was in those languages. But I think it's a good moment in time. I'm hoping to do this probably every couple of years, maybe 3 or every 5 years. Just put together a quick video to see what I can speak, what levels I'm at. Obviously, I don't claim to be fluent in any of these languages other than English, but it is just a matter of being able to communicate. And I find, with German the most, but as well with Spanish and French, I'm able to, have some communication when needed and understand a bit of content. And that's really why I'm doing this. And obviously, something I keep repeating, but Steve Kaufman in one of his videos said, that's the thing about language learning. You never get worse, only better, and I do believe that. So every step is a step in the right direction. But I did have that one lesson in German just to practice that, get it up to speed so that I could film that video, which is on my website as well as on my YouTube channel if you want to take a look at that. Maybe at some point I'll go in and try and put subtitles in or captions to make it a little bit easier to understand, but that was something I wanted to put together for my birthday, and I did put that together as well on the languages front. On the reading resolution, similar updates from what I have had in the past, which is very slow progress on this front. I did, however, bring a bookshelf in from home. So a lot of books that I had in boxes here or up strewn about are now all on this bookshelf. I think I've got, I'm trying to count here, maybe 30 or 40 books that I can see over there. So it is obviously something that I do want to get done, and I think it's one of these things where I need to just get back into doing what I was doing. I think it was about a year and a half ago. I think it was about a year, maybe February or March of last year, 2017. What I did was just read one chapter minimum before I went to bed. I was keeping track of that on a spreadsheet. Maybe I need to get back into doing that because I haven't been able to make any progress on the reading front. I do want to read, but as I say, with everything that's going on, I just need to pick priorities, and reading falls lower on that list as opposed to keeping up with school and doing everything else that I'm involved with. So no progress on the reading front during the month of May, but maybe I'll have to make some drastic changes to really force myself to get through. I think the goal is 6 books by the end of the year, so I haven't done any at this point, but I'm hoping to get some books in, and maybe I'll put a video together once I read the book and store that on the website as well. On the exercise front, I am playing MLSB, so that's a softball league that Laurier has in the summertime. It's not traditional softball. The rules are relatively laid back. So if you hit the ball and it goes past the infield, you don't have to run. It's either a single or a double or you're out. So a lot less needing to run on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, there obviously is running around to try and catch the ball. And as well, every time I hit the ball, I just put my head down and run no matter where the ball lands. I think that's a valuable skill in softball. So that to say, I do get a little bit of exercise playing softball, obviously not as much as I would like. I did once during a Tuesday night in between my 2 business labs. I have one that goes till 6:30, and then my next lab doesn't start until 9, so I have 2.5 hours in between my 2 labs. I did one week go swimming for about half an hour. I think I swam 800 meters. I'd have to check, but trying to get back into swimming, that was a time that does work well. They also have swimming during the week, but really just a matter of trying to find a time that works to go swimming or other activities, whether or not that's running down on the treadmill or running outside now that the weather is really nice. That is something I want to get back into doing, but during the month of May, it was just that one swimming for 800 meters plus a little bit of softball. So not as much progress on that front as I would like either, but that's why I do these videos, just to keep myself accountable and every month just to get up here and say, I'm not running, not exercising as much as I would like. I've slot that into the same spot as reading, which is it's on there on the to-do list, but not as important as some of the other things. I've been very busy with academics, especially during the month of May and June, leading into July as well. So reading and exercise have been on the back seat. In terms of co-op is done now. So I finished my co-op at the end of April, but I still continue to work part-time for Sun Life. I try and go into the office on Thursday afternoons at the time that worked well, but sometimes that switches around to Tuesdays or other days depending on what's going on. But I am still trying to do, maybe 1 day's worth of work at home / in the office going forward for Sun Life, just to keep making updates for them, working, being valuable for them. So I think that really does check the box of what I wanted to succeed in for this resolution, which was be valuable to Sun Life. And let me pull up exactly what it is. Continue learning and be valuable to Sun Life Financial. And that's definitely something that I think I've done. The systems that I was able to help work on and tools and things I was able to build, and also to be valuable enough that they reached out and wanted to keep me on part-time in some capacity so I can still get some work done. So co-op is done at this point in May, and also in June. I haven't been focusing on my next co-op. My next co-op isn't until the summer of 2019, so about 12 months from now. So I haven't been focusing on that. I have some ideas of where I might like to work, but I haven't made any progress on applying or networking or doing anything on that front. So right now it's just coming in from the end of co-op, continuing to work a little bit part-time, but for the most part relaxing on this front now that co-op is done. I did also continue to represent Sun Life at a booth they had set up at Laurier for an event that had about 150 high school students. So I was asked by a friend of mine if I'd be willing to help and represent Sun Life at that booth, which I was more than happy to do. So continuing to be involved and be valuable and valued by all my employers, but specifically Sun Life, which was the most recent co-op employer. In terms of involvement, I have a couple things that I was working on. One is the ongoing training for our Budapest competition with a team of 4 people. So 3 were the same that went to Spain, and we have one new person who was actually in Spain the year previous. So all of us have competition experience. 3 of the 4 of us have worked very closely together in preparation for various competitions. So it is just a matter of trying to get some ongoing practice in every weekend, every other weekend. We also are trying out the different formats. So in Budapest, we'll have a 4-hour case as well as a 10-hour case. So we're trying to do a mix of 4-hour and 10-hour practices. We haven't had any 10-hour practices yet, but we do have one coming up next weekend in July. So it is just that matter of practice on that front. That does take a ton of time. Really, whatever day we go to do that, it's pretty much a write-off, get in at 11 a.m. or in the afternoon, depending on when we start. Really focus on that, and it is a tiring process as well. We do want to work really hard for those 4 hours that we have in our resolution, as well as our practice and presentation and feedback afterwards. So it does take a lot out of us. We all do want to put in our best efforts for the training for that. As well, I'm continuing to be a TA. So May was the first month of the summer semester. I'm TAing for Business 111 again, same course. I've TA'd 2 terms now, so this will be my 3rd term TAing that. I have 2 labs, about 50 to 60 students in total. So that's just another ongoing Tuesday nights. I mentioned I have that, and in between hope to swim, but it doesn't happen that often. But that is just the same as always. We have the teaching, marking and contribution, and weekly assignments, and office hours, answering emails, all that. So it's an ongoing involvement, but I do enjoy that. As well, during the month of May, I had an interview for the emergency response team. So I'm applying, or I have applied for the 2018-2019 year for the emergency response team to be an executive. This past year, I was the promotions executive, and the year before that, I was just a general member. So I'm hoping to come back as the promotions executive. So I had my interview for that in the month of May. And also during the month of May, I spent about 2 or 3 weeks helping out with the local candidate for the upcoming provincial election. So on June 7th, we had a provincial election in Ontario. I spent about 2 or 3 weeks trying to help out with the local political candidate, trying to get him elected. So that took a lot of time as well during the month of May. Also not on the list, but I do want to add it to the list, is school. So school, I'm taking 6 courses right now, one of which is a consulting course. So it's a management consulting course. It's a new course that's being offered by some of the instructors from JDC, the case competition team that I'm on. And really what it is I'm with a group of 4 other people, so there's 5 of us in total. We're working with a couple of people down in Toronto who have this cause that they're really working towards, and we're coming in to help wherever needed. So whether or not it's putting together a landscape of the competition, or putting together a sponsorship package, or putting together ideas for anything they'd like to put together, we're really helping them with whatever they'd like to have done. But that's been a big thing that I've been working on. There are some weeks where every single day for 2 or 3 hours we're meeting with that team of 5 of us. So it's been busy, but I do enjoy the work. I enjoy the group of people that I'm working with. So that's really an enjoyable course, an enjoyable opportunity that I was given to take part in that course, but it is taking a lot of time. That's probably the biggest thing that I've been spending time on, along with TAing, is this one course, as well as all my other courses and everything that's going on there. Lots of group projects as well, both during the month of May and during the month of June. So that's been a lot to focus on, but for the most part, I'm really enjoying all my courses, specifically this management consulting course. It's a lot of real applicable knowledge and experience that I've been able to gather, but I do want to add the courses and my academics to the resolutions list, because I see it's not on there. So with that in mind, that's the May update, just a quick update here. I'll follow this up immediately with the June update, but busy, busy, busy. I know I say that all the time, but I do really like to keep busy, but it is just a matter of making sure it's not at the peril of other things that I do want to get done. So I know reading and exercise have been items on this list that I want to get done, So I need to figure out, do I really want to get that done? And if yes, really take steps to achieve that. Because right now I'm just dragging it along every month, but not making any progress. But with that in mind, as always, thanks for listening, and I'll be back soon with the June update. Bye.